We are so pleased to bring the 13th annual Voice of the West elocution contest to our local high schools here in Cayo. The students get to compete against each other for different categories. One is impromptu speech, where they won't know what they're going to be talking about until 10 minutes beforehand. There's a persuasive speech category where they prepare a speech that's 3 to 4 minutes long that has to be persuasive. We have to be moved by it. There's an original poems category where the students will be able to speak their own poems. And the published poems and excerpts category is where they can take something that's already been published and present that.
Who are the persons taking part in this year's competition?
We have 9 of the 13 high schools in the district that are participating. They're students from first form all the way up to fourth form, but they are the high school students.
Now, in terms of this participation, do they win prizes? What do they win?
These students will walk away with a handful of cash. The first place students win $300 in cash, second place is $200, and the third place is $100 in cash. And in addition to that, the schools who win first places in each category will win a trophy to take back to their campuses.
Is this one of the flagship programs of the Rotary Club of San Ignacio?
We'd like to think it's one of the flagship programs because we're so engaged with educating our youth. This is such a wonderful opportunity for students to practice some skills that they perhaps would not have the opportunity to do anyplace else. But it's about supporting our youth in their education process. So yes, and you can tell 13th year we're pretty committed to it.
Now, where will the program be held, and is it open to the general public? Can you invite them to come out?
We'd love to have the general public come out. It is Thursday night, this Thursday night the 16th at Hodie's Bar and Grill. We will start at 6:30. It's a raucous time. The students have come to support each other and along with their parents. So we'd love to have some more folks come and cheer the students on.
The competition itself, the topics that the children will deal with, how are those chosen, and what are some of the topics that will be dealt with this year?
The Rotary Club like to get topics that have to do with the 4-way test that we live by. Is it the truth? Is it beneficial to all concerned? Those things. But we ask them to talk about things that are important to them. One of the topics is going to be bullying in the schools, and how do you deal with that? What about cell phones on campus? Is that appropriate that they're not to be used on campus? How one of them is education accessible to everybody in the same way? So the kinds of things that make them stop and think a little bit about what their education means to them. What that's one of the questions actually is how are you being prepared through your education for the future that you wish to have for yourself and Belize. So we want them to think a little bit and give us their ideas on that.
Who are the sponsors, and what has been the response of the business community?
The sponsors are folks in the local community. We have Running W, Alexi Trucking, Vanilla Hills, which is a local bed and breakfast. B&E is participating with us. Atlantic Bank, Scotia Bank. There are a few more people that we've asked to sponsor that we still need to talk to, but it's a tremendously local event that is supported locally.
And going forward, do you see that this is going to continue to be an ongoing program?
Yes, we are very committed to this, even though we change personnel as to who handles things, and we have new ideas that we'd like to put into the program and change them up a little bit, but we're always glad to do this for the schools, and the schools actually have competitions internally, so they get even more practice when they compete internally, and then whoever wins on the school level gets to come compete on the district level. We'd love to do this nationwide, but it's a big undertaking, and we need more help with that.